So the portable column array has really been a game changer for the DJ and the event professional business for a lot of reasons. The integration of batteries into DJ and event professional gear like lighting and speakers and things like that has been a game changer for DJs and the event professional. Today, I'm talking about the LD Systems Maui 5 Go 100, and they have married the portable column array and the battery together. I'm so excited to hear this thing. I am so excited to talk about it and deep dive into it with you guys. Are you ready? Here we go. We're gonna do it right now. What's going on, everybody? Justin Schwartz here, founder of the DJs Guru, coming at you as always from the lovely DJs Guru studio, and today we're talking about the gorgeous LD Systems Maui 5 Go 100 in stunning white, a battery-powered portable column array system. We're gonna deep dive into this. We're gonna do a sound test. We're gonna test different types of music. I wanna do a PA test on a microphone. Do a lot of different things and see how this really stacks up, because it looks great on paper as always, but we want to see, I mean, it's a battery-powered portable column array system, so my expectations are not super high, but I want to see what it's going to do, and we're going to share it with you. So before we get into that, I'd love for you to consider subscribing to our channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions on anything on the LD Systems Maui 5 Go, or anything related to what we do here, please drop them down in the comments below. Also, lastly, make sure you're checking us out at the DJs Guru and DJEventGear.com, where you can find all this stuff to purchase. So back to the LD Systems Maui 5 Go. So we'll go into the features and the specs real quickly so you get an idea of what we're dealing with here. So it's an 800 watt peak, 200 watt RMS, with an SPL of about 120, which for what you would be using this for, which for me is a multitude of applications, it's plenty, and we'll dive more into that later. It's a 12-hour battery runtime with only a 2-hour charge time, which to me is incredible. It's a 3200 milliamp battery, which, what are milliamps as far as what batteries are concerned? So when you hear 3200, what does that mean? That number really is just a quantifier of how much energy the battery can hold and how long the battery is going to last. So having that 3200 milliamps is really going to give you that 12 hours with that real quick battery and charge up time. So it has 4 3-inch neodymium drivers. It has an 8-inch woofer. It has a 4-channel integrated mixer with Bluetooth. It has everything you think you would need for an event professional or a DJ to do cocktail hour or ceremony, right? If you're doing a simple one-man corporate event, if you're doing anything that does not involve a tremendous amount of dynamic sound, if you're doing a 50 to 100 person type of small event where, again, there's not a tremendous amount of dancing, this thing would totally fit the bill there as well. I mean, this is absolutely a solution tool, in my opinion, that I see many ways that you can use this to create services so that way you can buy it and then make money with it, because that's always going to be the goal. What else do we want to talk about as far as the features? So it is polycarbonate. It's a plastic build, but it is solid. Definitely feels pretty solid here. Only 25 pounds, which I thought was the most impressive thing about it. When I got the box here, I was like, oh wow, that's the whole thing, and it's super lightweight, super portable. They have these really nice bags. So this is the sub bag, and then this portion here breaks down to 3 separate pieces that basically go into this bag, and they get dropped into this section right here. So your entire system, which is taller than me, by the way, will fit into a bag just like this, and we'll kind of show what that's going to look like more in real life situations later. But those are basically the features. Those are basically the specs of it. The most important thing, though, is how's it going to work? Is it going to do what I need it to do? So we're going to test it. But lastly, one thing I want to point out about this and why I do really like it and why I was attracted to it is because of the column array style and the design, you have a sub at the bottom, and then you have your drivers at the top here. So it's separating the lows, putting them on the ground where they should be, and it's keeping the highs up top. Also, just to mention, the drivers here are pointed in different directions, which is giving this 120 degree by 20 dispersion for a coverage angle. So it's very wide and balanced, which again is another reason why as a PA system in general for a lot of different applications, it's perfect because it's going to be a very wide and even coverage angle. Because of the fact of the way that it's built in the portable column array, we've all learned this with the EVOC series from RCF and the Evolve from EV and the Maui from LD2, that the portable column array eliminates the need for a tripod. So if you're using a battery powered speaker, normally you have to put it up on a pole, right? And kind of ugly, right? So it's nice to have essentially a self-sustaining system here where it's also a stand because of the way that it's designed. So I like that about it. It can become almost, you know, I'm in a white room here, so like this thing could become invisible in a really elegant style ballroom or cocktail hour room in a restaurant or hotel or catering hall. Also in a corporate environment, you know, in a any type of corporate setting or trade show or something like that, again, can become invisible in the sense of blending into what you're doing and not taking over, you know, like some other speakers can sometimes. Putting a big pole up with a big black speaker or something like that, you know, can stand out compared to what other people are doing in this situation. You put a nice, elegant looking speaker like this, you know, you can now put this in a lot of areas and rooms where you might not have been able to put that other type of battery powered speaker or even a powered speaker that you might have on a, you know, a standard black pole. All right, so we went through the features, we went through the specs, we talked about some of the things that I think are cool about it. I did a little bit of testing here in the house. I gotta say it sounded great, but of course it did. We were in the house. Let's go outside. Let's take it outside. Let's go really hear this thing. We'll try 3 different or 4 different types of music. I'm going to do a PA test on a microphone, see what we can really hear, and see if this thing's worth buying. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, right? You ready? Let's go. All right, so we always like to show real world situations here. So everyone wants to know, you know, like what's it gonna look like in my vehicle. Here's what it looks like in the back of a crossover trunk. You know, this thing is so portable when it's closed up. The 3 columns are put into this bag. The sub is right here and a nice cover from LD, and we're ready to go. I mean, I could fit this in my front seat. I could fit this in the back seat. I might not even have to take the baby seat out depending on the gig. So this is what it looks like. Let's go test it out. All right, so we're ready to set this up, but first I kind of wanted to show you what it looks like coming out of the bag. So this bag is awesome. Very inexpensive for the quality that they are, I have to say. And they fit in here, just 3 simple pieces for the top column, right? Just like this. Very nice, very nice. And then here's the sub. Sub cover just comes right off. Oop, a little bit harder than I thought, but just like that. And then I'm going to put it together for you. So we'll do that right now. Okay, and it really is just as simple as 1, 2, whoop, maybe this side will do better, and 3. Flip it around again, just like that. We got a battery powered here, so we just got to turn it on. We're ready to go. Now we want to hear how it sounds. So you ready? All right, so like we mentioned before, this has a 4-channel mixer built in. You have a 3.5 millimeter input here for, you know, old school, anything output really with the 3.5 millimeter in. You have a microphone input. You have standard XLR input as well as a parallel through, so you can output to this to another system or something else. Also a high Z input here. You have Bluetooth connection, of course, so you can connect wirelessly with your smartphone. And then you have all of your knob controls here for the different channels. MP3 high Z line, mic. Of course, you have a main and a mic kind of combo volume here. And then you have a 2-band EQ. So you have sub and you have high and mid-range frequency. On the back, like we said earlier, you have a system output, all XLR, and then you have a left and a right input. One would be for mono, depending on how you're running it. If you're a band or something like that, you might be running mono, but for DJ mostly or event professional applications, you're most likely going to be using the full range input. Okay, so that's the back of it. Let's turn it on, let's hear how this thing sounds. All right, so we're gonna start off with a little bit of a hip hop track. We're gonna go in hard. I wanna see how this 8-inch sub sounds. Listen, we're on a soft ground here. My expectations really, like I said earlier, are not super high for this because of what it is. But I'm gonna try to really test it here with a song that you may not normally play on it and see how it goes. So here we go, you ready? A little poppy beat.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 pop.
So the first thing is, you got that 120 by 20 dispersion. It's very even. And right now it's very clear. I don't hear any distortion. It's not overpowering me, but in this situation, it's not a speaker you're buying for that. You're really using it more for background. And I'll tell you, it's a very elegant sound. Now I'm gonna move over here. To it, it's a lot louder, but it's very balanced, it's very rich, very even. I hear the lows, the mids, the highs separate. I love having that sub on the ground. I love not having a pole there. It's very nice looking. Obviously, we all know I love the column array. So far, I'm impressed. Let's hear another song. Okay, so we're gonna try more of a down-tempo song, right? I see a lot of people using these at maybe a cocktail hour or ceremony. So let's kind of see what it sounds like with more of an acoustical type sound. See what goes. I'm gonna actually turn up the juice a little bit. Definitely not acoustic. So I gotta tell you that it still sounds very clean. It's very balanced as I walk around. What I like about this sound, to me, and it's very similar to other brands that I like, what I call ear pleasing. I don't hear any distortion, and I don't hear any tinniness or brightness in the sound. It's very clear, and it's very balanced. You can kind of hear the different instruments and things like that. So let's go try another song and go with something a little bit more high energy and see what happens. All right, so I know this is the DJs Guru, of course, but this is definitely a product for bands, corporate DJs, event professionals of all kind, street performers, balloon artists, face painters. I mean, if you need sound, portable, battery powered, with inputs so you can do different things and play music, it's a great tool, right? So I like to play music that makes sense for everybody, so I want to hear a little bit of a rock song. It's kind of a combo rock electronic song, but I want to hear what the guitar sounds like. So let's see what it's going to sound like now. Walk a little bit backwards here. I'm about 25, 30 feet away, maybe even farther than that. Not a tremendous drop off. You know, as I have to talk less loud, you can hear the drop off, right? You can hear me better. But I'm a good 60, 75 feet away now. You know, so like, if you run a soccer club, you know, you're out there in the field, you just need audio to do sound for a soccer club. Fine, you know, because I can hear it everywhere, right? Not a lot of background noise right now, so I'm taking that into consideration, but man, I mean, the convenience to be able to bring this out and then just do a gig, whatever it is, you know, what a great tool. And I'm very, I gotta tell you, I'm very impressed with the price of what it is. A battery-powered portable comma, I was not expecting. It's only 200 watt RMS. Wasn't expecting this stuff. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's try out one more thing. I want to try out a microphone. See how that sounds. All right, so this thing is also just a simple PA system. So battery powered PA system, entirely battery powered. I've got my X5 U3 system plugged in. I got the receiver in the microphone section of the Maui 100. Got the other end here, the transmitter on the end of my EV ND76A. And look, I'm repping everybody right now. But I really want to hear how it's going to sound, and if I'm using this for announcements. Again, at any type of function, or maybe I'm just using it for announcements, right? So let's hear how it sounds. What's going on? I'm testing out this microphone, and I'm also testing out the U3. So I'm over here, I'm about 30 feet away. So far, it sounds pretty good. Can you hear me at the park? Can you hear me at the park? Give me a wave if you can. You can hear us at the park. This is fantastic. Everything's working great. We'd like to get everybody involved. Why not? We're about 65, 70 feet away, right? How we sound? Can you still hear us? Yeah. All right, they can still hear us. We're good. So we've got, I mean, this is real life testing right now. So, I mean, I'm a good 100 feet away. This is rated at 90 feet, by the way, so good 100 feet away. And I mean, I'm so far away now, I can't even really hear it. But okay, my people at the park, can you still hear me? Yes, yes. We've got a certification over there. So sounds pretty good as a PA system only as well. All right, so we're gonna close this out, head back to the studio. But before we do that, let's see how quickly and easily I can put this thing, take this thing apart. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1. Oh boy, they come out together. 2. Boom. Thing doesn't stand up straight. All right, I got that's my bad negative review. This thing should stand up straight. Anyway, 3. Boom. Zip it up. Good zippers on here. Good solid zippers. I know a thing about zippers, man. Man, I've replaced so many bags with bad zippers in my day. Okay, and then we're just putting the sub on here. Now, this I don't really get, but okay, cool. They have a handle section here, and then you can zip it up. I don't know why you would do that, because I want to hold it, right? I guess for when you're done with it, you close it up. But anyway, let's go back to the studio. All right, everybody, we're back. What did you think? I gotta tell you, I did not expect the output was great. 120 SPL, I think that's about what I expected. but the clarity and the fact that no matter what track we did, there was never any distortion. Now, if we go back and you listen, there was a couple of times where the Bluetooth, I went too far with the phone. So if you heard that in the review, that's what that was. Had nothing to do with the speaker. And then once I left the phone here, I'm used to having it in my hand, but it was fine. So that was not the speaker. It sounded really good on every type of track. We did that awesome microphone test. That was fun, right? And I mean, that was hundreds of feet away. Those people could still hear us clearly. They were giving us the wave, you know. So so many different applications for this thing. You know, if you're a DJ, obviously people are going to say ceremony and cocktail, but hey, why can't I own something like this and book some AV jobs and book some different types of corporate work during the week and make money with it instead of having it sit just waiting for a cocktail hour or a ceremony? If you're watching this somehow and you're not a DJ and you're a street performer, if you're someone who does really anything in the event professional world and just needs a really easy to use, nice looking, portable, and an affordable, this is very affordable for what you get, another great item for you. I honestly, while I was doing this review, people came up to me from their houses and were asking me about it. I could see people using this at home, you know, in the backyard. So many different applications. I mean, it's amazing to me how this equipment is starting to cross over, you know, especially after the pandemic. Everybody wants to have parties at home and things like that. So really a tool for anybody, you know, that likes good sound, wants convenience, and needs to plug stuff in. You know, you got a guitar or a microphone or whatever it is. This is a PA system. All right, so before we close it out, the one tip I want to give you, it's a little wobbly. I'm going to be straight up and just, you know, I don't really know how else to say it, but there's a clicking system that puts everything together, but, you know, it's a little wobbly, which doesn't really mean a lot, but when I had it out on the grass, you know, you just got to be careful. You got to make sure you have a solid floor that you're going to mount it on. I mean, that's probably the only thing I would say I was a little surprised by, but it's not like... it's not a deal breaker by any means. That's the only negative thing I can really say about it. For the price, for everything that it does, this thing is definitely a winner. They're also available in black. You see the white here. And listen, if you have any questions on it, please drop them down below. You can pick it up at djeventgear.com. We're going to be doing a blog review on it, so you can check that out at thedjsguru.com. Also, please consider subscribing if you've liked what we're doing here. So consider subscribing to our channel. We're going to be coming out with a lot more content. I've got a ton of stuff coming to review, so look out for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're checking us out at thedjsguru.com and djeventgear.com. LD Systems Maui 5Go 100, definitely a winner. I recommend buying it. It's going to solve a lot of problems for you and give you ideas of things that maybe you can do and make more money on in the future. So definitely a winner. Thanks so much for watching. And as I always like to say, we'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.